Looking at that camera, this is our subject we're going to be filming today. This is Cole Anderson. He's the manager of the axe throwing facility in Maldonado, North Dakota. Cole, thanks for being a part of the show on our YouTube.
Before we get started, we'd like you to go to the link below and download so you can follow along as we talk about pre-production, production, and post-production.
All right, so we are in the process of trying to figure out where we want to film our A-roll. We've talked about a couple things in our interview section, but now it's actually trying to make a good effort in what we want for the backdrop and what we want to make it look like.
Well, we had kind of talked doing the targets in the background, so this would be kind of nice and ideal to have as our background.
So if we get too close to the targets, what does that look like?
Yeah, so if we, say, interviewed him right here, so if I was Cole and we were interviewing him in this spot, this probably wouldn't be where you'd want to be. Simply because, yeah, you're getting the target in the background, but you're not getting the full perspective of the space.
Now, typically your iPads and stuff don't have this component, which is depth of field. Yeah. So Matt's blurred, I'm focused, all of a sudden, zoop, Matt's in focus, I'm blurred. Your iPads and phones don't have this. Some new phones have portrait video, which is similar to this.
Yeah.
But if you're using an iPad, it's going to be all the same focus level. So it'll be similar to that.
I envision it that he's going to be sitting in this chair, and then it's going to be further out. And I actually picture you on this side, so the camera will be over here, and then we'll catch kind of it going down a little bit.
Okay.
Possibly. So, and there's the train.
For the sake of the video, you can see that Matt is in focus and the targets are blurred in the background. You can see more of the targets in the background, but you can also see Matt in focus talking, chest up.
We'll have to do some tests to see where exactly we're going to do this, but as stated before, we're going to use the targets in the background, and then we're going to have Cole on one of these chairs. It's hard to tell, but if I sit here, maybe you can do a little sample. I don't know what that would look like.
I think this is a really cool shot.
Yeah?
Angle. Yeah, if we did right here with the camera.
The screen.
Yeah, because even catching that table in the background.
Oh yeah.
It's a very cool
I like that. So yeah, we'll set up here.
Yeah.
Tripod there with that camera or that lens.
A little bit of depth of field on it. Yeah, this is exactly where we should do the shot.
And then as we talked about earlier, the windows right there have the lights that are shining right on the face.
Yep.
Which helps out quite a bit.
And so what we were talking about with lighting earlier is using that lighting to our advantage. So we wouldn't want to go like a really orange light. If we have all this natural blue light filtering in, we're gonna put a light probably right here. All right, so what I did, I lowered the stand down so we wouldn't see it in the background, and I set our settings to more of a warm setting, just to match this lighting that we already have in the background, which is more of a warm light. So now using that as kind of a backdrop, we now separate Matt a little bit from the background. And we can adjust that light a little bit more once we actually get this camera set.
Perfect.
So I think we got our shot, Matt. What do you think?
I think so too. I think we'll just probably move some of this stuff, give us a little bit of room so we can see him straight on.
Sounds good. All right.
So
Well, let's get the camera set.
Okay.
All right, so this is the angle showing the tripod setup from start to finish, from where our person's gonna be sitting and how it's gonna look from this exact angle.
Okay, so Eric's just gonna be sitting in for our interview currently as we test.
An important tip when you are setting up your interviews, notice how Matt's positioned the camera above my face level. I've done it before too, when I first start shooting interviews, I actually have the camera eye level or a little below. They'll definitely appreciate it, and it makes the shot look better.
Okay. So we want to get as much of the targets as we can. And we also want to third him. So see how he's not really in the center. He's kind of like off to the side, off to the right side. That's kind of where we want him to be. Okay. And now we have this area in this frame to be able to put text or, and then see where he's looking too. He's not looking this way, he's looking this way because we're sitting right next to the left side of this camera. So when we're interviewing Cole, we're gonna be like this. So he's not looking right at the camera, as you can see. Now, Eric, could you look at the camera once? So that's what it would look like if he looked at the camera, which is, it's okay. It still serves a purpose, but if we're doing an interview like this, we kind of want the audience to be a little bit more on the outside, and because he's not talking directly to the audience, he's talking just generally. So, and I'm actually gonna adjust one more time here. Eric, could you scoot your chair over a little bit that way?
This way.
Yeah.
Okay. I could also sit a little bit more on the chair too.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I'm sitting kind of on the edge.
And then sometimes what I like to do is I like to put fingers up here and then I come over here and look at the screen to see where he's gonna be looking. So, because roughly where here he's looking is about where one of us is gonna stand and interview Cole. So, okay, well, I think we got this shot that we need. And just to review, I'm gonna show Eric, get a confirm on it.
Yeah, that looks good. Blurred background. Mm-hmm. We're using our light here coming in. Yeah, looks good. Do we want to add any more light to it? Do you want to add more light from this side, or do you like the...
I like the shadow on the one side.
Okay.
If we were to add another light, it'd be on this side, actually.
Just to help.
Yeah. So just because it's a little cooler on this side.
Yeah.
So, and I'd like to warm it up a little bit.
A little bit of warmth.
So I'm gonna grab this light.
What Matt's actually doing over here now, he's unplugging the light. And he's moving it over here to help filter out some of that cool light. So I'm gonna set this cam back here and get a view behind the scenes, which I'm not catching any of it like that.
All right, so we got our chair.
This one mine. So the next part of what Matt was talking about a little bit earlier is actually getting our audio set up. And this is known as a lavalier microphone. And so I have it actually taped to myself here. You don't have to tape it to yourself. You can also clamp it on a shirt if you'd prefer. It's nice to draw this up through the shirt so you don't see the cord dangling around, but it actually records right to this device, which makes it very nice. The other option, of course, is the boom or the shotgun mic on top of your camera, and from there you can record clean audio right to the camera. Especially if you're close, you can hear it very nicely.
From here.
All right, so looking at that camera, this is our subject we're going to be filming today. This is Cole Anderson. He's the manager of the axe throwing facility in Minot, North Dakota. Cole, thanks for being a part of the show on our YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be YouTube famous now.
You're gonna be YouTube famous.
Aha, there we go.
One of the film dudes now. All right, so we're gonna hook you up with the audio. We're gonna have you run this underneath your shirt.
We got 2 shirts on, so we're good there.
Yeah, we are. What do you think? Should we tape beneath or should we put it on a...
I don't mind if we put it on this collar.
Okay. All right, so we'll get you recording. All right, so you're now recording there, Cole. And slide that into your pocket. Okay, so now we have our interview questions that Matt and I went over earlier. I'm preparing to ask the questions while Matt's getting everything focused with the camera on the person you're filming. We want this to be a casual environment. We want it to be an environment that is laid back so Cole feels comfortable. It's an environment that we want to make sure is easygoing and not intimidating, because we want to get really good, sincere answers, something that was not pre-scripted. At this point, you'd walk over to the person you're filming and you'd show them the questions ahead of time so they know what they're going to be getting into, and also the way you would want them to answer those questions. So some of the questions, there's 5 of them, so it'd be very easy. We're starting off with, why do you like axe throwing? Very simple, authentic. What we want you to do when you answer the question is just to rhetorically say it back to us. So like, why do you like axe throwing? I like axe throwing because, okay,